For the Broadmoor region, the key takeaways were those tourists have a significant effect on how long it's going to take you to get people out. If you don't have a good plan for the Broadmoor resort, if you don't have a good plan for conferences or golf tournaments, then your citizens aren't going to get out, because the Broadmoor Resort and the golf attendees are closer to the exit area, and they're going to block your citizens from being able to get out.
A longtime friend, a brother, was one of the first fire officers on the scene when the Waldo Canyon fire came into town. He was sharing evacuation duties with police officers, planning inbound resources while literally drawing out the description of his plans on the hood of his command vehicle. His primary direction in telling evacuees was to drive downhill until you get to the interstate, which, given the ferocity of the fire front, was potentially the line of battle to which it would or could be stopped. In communities such as ours, other civilians have faced similar situations. I would like to share one of those situations now, of what it may have felt like or been like for those trying to leave their neighborhoods as a fire front approached.
As the town evacuated, some cars ran out of gas, others were engulfed in flames. So as residents tried to escape on the few roads out of Paradise, they got stuck.
Oh my gosh,
we are stuck in it.
It's hot.
Hot right now.
Oh, come on, come on, come on.
Oh.
Come on, what is going on?
Our tires, dude.
I know. Calm down, guys. It's fine.
Okay. Just breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe.
Breathe. Put your shirt over your mouth, you guys, and breathe.
Take little breaths. Little breaths.
Oh my gosh. Just watch for trees, babe.
I will. Oh my God. Oh. There's like explosions everywhere. Oh my God, people's tires are popping. Heavenly Father, please help us. Please help us to be safe. For Jeremy and his willingness to be brave.
As you can tell, quite an emotional time for a family that's in their car trying to evacuate, and to need to understand that it has been and was members of our own community that shares similar circumstances to that. If I can share one of the quotes that I would like to, from the time it hit the top of Queens Canyon, we estimated we would have 4 hours to evacuate. The way the winds picked up and pushed that down, we had on the order of 45 to 50 minutes, which was a quote from our own Fire Marshal Brett Lacey. To that point, how the Waldo Canyon fire entered into our community was shared in similar ways to the Paradise fire in California. And if I could, one short clip as well, which is just under a minute, that would reflect the similarities to us in that.
Yep, certainly.
Why was this fire so destructive and so deadly?
Keep in mind, we had a drought start way back in 2012. It honestly has not stopped. The embers that were cast by this fire were pushed well out ahead of this fire, and every ember landed and started a new fire. So you had 50 to 60 mile per hour winds pushing this fire right off the get-go. It started out, the first site on it was 10 acres. Football field lengths in a matter of seconds.
I heard 80 football fields in a minute. It's crazy. You cannot run that.
No. Oh, no. No, you're not going to make it.
My question would be, and I think the question should be, why would you not want to provide every tool available to support the limited physical resources so that those who are responding to such an event have the tools that it's necessary to make that response all the more effective. Again, a quote, and wildfire is part of nature. It's going to come. We had it bump into mountain shadows. We're going to have it come down into Broadmoor bluffs. It's a matter of when, not if. Again, our own Fire Marshal Lacey on a podcast just this July. It has been said by many authors and leaders that hope is neither a good strategy nor a good tactic. And there's also a proverb that states that you do not withhold good from those to whom it is due when it is within your powers to act. What you have is the opportunity with this information to provide tools that literally can save lives. So I would ask again, why would we not want to provide every tool available to support the limited physical resources so that those that are here and responding can be that much more effective? If communities throughout California especially are utilizing such tools, and they are in fact the model and the leading edge to these types of incidences, why would we not when even Manitou Springs, a small community neighbor of ours, is in fact undertaking and utilizing them? We want to make sure that the men and women who have sworn their lives and the lives of those to whom they are sworn to protect believe that the city within which they live and work is working to keep them safe.
So we just discussed what happened at Woodman and Rock Rimmon. If you go down in the bottom left corner, you can also see where all the traffic is backing up. The yellow diamonds represent where the choke points are. And once again, 4 hours into this evacuation, those are where your choke points are. The other thing I want to point out is your gray areas are the populations that have not been evacuated yet. So just on the north side of that bottom image on the bottom left, that's Point of the Pines. They're not out of there yet, and it's 4 hours into the evacuation. Let's go look at the upper right-hand corner. This is Flying W Ranch. The bottom right picture shows what happened, what Waldo Fire did. Okay? 4 hours and 20 minutes into this evacuation, there are people still at Flying W Ranch. I talked about liability. I don't know, you guys can decide what the liability is, but if there are people that don't make it out, tourists, I don't think that's a good idea for the city to publish, hey, we got people that couldn't make it out, tourists that couldn't make it out. What does that do to the tourist industry? Then what I did is I took the fleet models that they had initially put together as a baseline, and I ran this against the Broadmoor area and added some of the tourists in here, not a whole lot, maybe 30–40% of the tourist population, and came up with an 8-hour and 20-minute evacuation time. 3 hours and 10 minutes into this evacuation, there are 36 intersections that have between 10 and 16-minute delays. The picture in the bottom left-hand corner shows normal background traffic today at a roundabout that's on one of the major egress points. If you look at that little red square down there, you will see a fire truck with its emergency lights on. I don't know what happened with that situation, but probably not good.
Having lived through the Waldo fire and Manitou Springs was evacuated for 19 hours, I was at that daily press conference when that dry thunderstorm brought that thing down Queens Canyon, and it was horrific. And I think we all need to recognize.
Were you mayor during that of Manitou?
Yes, sir. I was lucky to be in office at that time.
Right.
And, I saw the look on the federal grizzled firefighters' faces when that fire came sweeping down. I'm not sure there's anything we could have done to prevent that. Flaming pine cones the size of a grapefruit flying a half mile at a time. And, all the things that happened there. But I think we all have to recognize those folks that got out of there, thank God they did. And it was unfortunate, we still lost 2 lives.
Right.
But, that we got out of there by the skin of our teeth.